Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well. And if you are in the US and you celebrated Thanksgiving, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. So let's get into this. We are in the home stretch. In 2 days, I am moving out of my apartment and we are on the cusp of the end of the year. I cannot believe it is December already. Things have moved very quickly, and I hope 2023 proves to be a fruitful year for all of us source players. And let's get this, right? So for me, this is an indication of a lot of endings from choices I made since September of 2021. And one of my employment choices just naturally disintegrated over the last couple of months. I'm very happy about that. That just kind of fell apart and fell away. I'd say probably around October, that just kind of like naturally disintegrated. And I'm very happy about that because it was really just it was starting to potentially become a problem. And I had to chase her down for my last paycheck, and that was annoying. So I think she realized she didn't want to deal with that anymore. But it's I did work for you. You need to pay me. So I no longer was feeling that. So it just fell apart. That was fine. I was perfectly content with that. So then I was still working for this woman who has this dog walking business. That has been I wanted to have my own pet sitting business through Rover. So something that I could do on a part-time basis while I manage my other stuff. If I get a job, then I get a job. It's not something that I have to worry about building. I'm not building this gigantic business and pet sitting is going to be the rest of my life. I have other interests. So anyway, I started working for this woman, which I'm thankful because I got the experience of what it is to go in and take care of cats. Not that, I already know, but from a perspective of I'm providing the service of going in and walking a dog or taking care of the dog's needs, taking care of the cats, taking care of small animals like bunnies and lizards and birds, getting that exposure. So in that respect, that is helpful. I understand what it is to be a pet service provider. And I have that experience under my belt. And, the unfortunate thing is that I ended up breaking my ankle a month into it, which is a result. Yes, it's a result of my choices. However, there were things that were laid out that were kind of her fault. And then her refusing to let me walk dogs. And what this woman gradually did was start to try to control my income and control my life. There were a lot of things that were going on. And this is a narcissistic personality, a perfectionist personality, a narcissistic personality disorder. It's definitely there. In addition to that, toxic perfectionism. And then, this person wanting to have me under their thumb. And she wanted me in one of the manager roles. I never wanted to be in a manager role because she wanted to now live her life. Well, hey, guess what? I want to live my life too. It's not something I'm going to sit there and tell her, hey, I'm this and I don't want to have I didn't want any responsibilities. That's why I wanted to be a dog walker. I didn't want any kind of responsibility of answering phones or anything like that. I just wanted to walk dogs because I was going through burnout and exhaustion and I didn't want to deal with people. And then I ended up with this woman who was a complete psycho. So anyway, this past week, I had a fabulous cat sitting job. It was 2 cats. The woman's home was immaculate. Of course, any home I'm going to go into and do my best, do my absolute best to provide the best service I can and make sure that they come home to a house that is cleaner than when I went into it. Because usually, the pet has been there for a certain amount of time without having the litter box changed and all that. So make sure they come home to a clean home. And that's what I did for this woman. and I had to give medications. It was 3 visits a day. It took up my whole week. It messed up my entire schedule. I couldn't do certain things. I was trying to move pieces of furniture in between my visits. Um, it's just a lot of different things. So, you know, without going into all the details, the boss and I basically, she basically met my boundaries. Her level of BS finally met my boundary where no more, there's no more. You're not going to continue to do this to me. And, of course, now she sees me as the problem, you know, I'm the problem, because there's this perception with employers that they think that they can treat you however they want and you have to be okay with it. You have to eat their crap. No, 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 no. I'm not here to eat anybody's crap. And there is this culture, at least here in the United States, there is this culture that you have to do that. But if you have been following anything in pop culture and in internet culture, there has been a pushback on that kind of toxic workforce, that kind of toxic workplace. And even though this was a dog walking, cat sitting position, this woman was making my life miserable. And it's a narcissistic personality disorder, and this person was feeding off of me. So ultimately, she and I, her toxic behavior and my boundaries came head to head, and that was it. You see? And I mean, this always happens. When I put a boundary in place, and I put it firmly in place, there's a problem because those people have been benefiting from me not exerting my boundaries. So that's it. So basically, I quit and, moved on. Gave her the finger, not literally, but gave her the proverbial finger and was like, deuces. Now everything that I was bringing to the table, my know-how as far as social media marketing, as far as internet web marketing in general, writing web copy, being an affiliate marketer, things like that I know how to do. Understanding how to create social media content, because any moron can slap up a picture, but understanding what is working on a particular platform, all of that takes time. It takes time. It's not like something tremendous, but if you're running a business, you don't have the time to learn that stuff. And these were things that I was doing for her. Plus, I know what I know. It's just whatever it is. That was it. It was toxic. It had to go. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because I kept consulting my pendulum, okay? I kept consulting my pendulum. Is it beneficial for me to continue working for this company, for this person? And my pendulum kept saying yes, 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 yes. And I kept asking that same question over and over again. And for me, I don't form my questions like, did this or does this. For some reason, I don't get accurate answers when I say that. So if I word it a different way, if I said, is it beneficial for me to continue working for blah, 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 and it's telling me yes, and I'm asking over and over it because I'm having difficulty with this woman repeatedly, and it's repeatedly, yeah, it's beneficial. Now, I'm thinking, my source self is telling me this from a place of course it's beneficial. This is a certain amount of money that you're guaranteed every month. That in itself right there is beneficial. Plus, it's something I can do remotely for the most part, as far as what my other responsibilities were. I could do them remotely, right? But my mental health was not in a good place working for her. And that's why I kept I'm like, how is this beneficial for me? And I probably just was not thinking on a better way to frame my question. So yes, it would have been very beneficial for those reasons that I said. But ultimately, my mental health is top priority at this point. And over the last week, there were several times where she and I talked. Literally, I could feel all the stress in my left shoulder, and that I get it all in my left shoulder because I have a previous a previous injury from years ago from some stupidity that I did. So there is like a physical trauma in that left side of my back and shoulder, and I literally was clenched up, like my shoulder was clenched and tight, and it hurt, and it was all because of the like anger and stress that was built up in my body. And the day I quit, it all released. Okay. So the whole reason I'm bringing it up is to remind you, if you are using your pendulum to get answers, right, from your source self, it's very important to really try to use different framing in your questions, right? She's also told us about that in the past. Frame your question many different ways. Sometimes for me, I just can't find the words, and I tend to kind of say the same thing over and over again. And that was it. So ultimately, it wasn't healthy for me to continue working for her. So that ended. So it's been a bunch of endings for me as far as the last quarter of 2022. And now I'm going into something completely new. I don't know what is going to come out of this. I am going to do my best to take advantage of the time that I have, to not have the pressure of having to pay a rent every month over my head, and try to kind of like get things taken care of, see if I can take the time to learn what I've been wanting to learn for the last 8 months that I've kind of put aside. Things that I started to learn at the beginning of the year, and now I'm looking at the end of the year. I'm like, wait, how did I get here? How did I get here? And I put this aside. I brushed it off for so long now at this point. Now I'm looking back and I'm like, like I could have been done. I could have been done with what I was learning. And now I'm like stuck. So I want to take advantage of the fact that I want to learn something. I want to learn a skill that I know will be something that will garner me a higher income salary, that's it. So there's that. And there was something else I wanted to touch on. So there's that also. I added something to a playlist. I created a new playlist on my channel, and that is like, I'm good as I come across things where like what quote unquote mainstream people are talking about. Like if I find something in particular, I happen to find this was a recommended clip, because in the past I've watched a lot of Jordan Peterson and things that he has kind of said from a psychological standpoint on things, and how to be a better person, a more functioning person, right? And he was talking with Dennis McKenna, who is the brother of Terrence McKenna. So Dennis and Terrence are huge proponents of hallucinogens. And I'm not talking about it from, hey, yeah, go do hallucinogenics. If I ever talk about something like that, I'm never condoning it. I'm never saying, hey, yeah, go do this. I'm talking about this particular clip that I've added to my playlist because they're talking about the entities that are associated with psychedelics. In particular, they're having a conversation about ayahuasca and how all these people have had these spiritual experiences taking these substances and having experiences with these entities that seem to be overall encompassing. Like anybody who kind of uses those things kind of has this overall universal experience with these universal kind of entities. And that's the point. There are entities associated with these plants, with these hallucinogenics. For example, and this is why I had mentioned it previously, the whole pharmacratic inquisition, because in particular, that particular documentary that was put together from those researchers, again, that guy, one of the main proponents of that documentary, he was somebody who was very influenced by Jack Herer, who was the godfather of hemp. He was one of those people that helped Herer get marijuana legalized in California. So that person was a key player in that. And he did all this research on the Amanita muscaria mushroom, which is the toadstool, the red one with the white little speckles on it, that one that we see that is a typical iconograph, you know what I mean? It's one of those things that is associated with drug culture. You know, there's certain mushrooms. You'll see the psilocybin mushrooms in certain art. You'll see the toadstool mushrooms in certain art. But there are certain entities that are associated with the Amanita muscaria, like more like alien, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. But there are certain entities that are associated with certain drugs, certain plants. That's my point. So it's a good 12 minutes or so. Maybe you want to, watch it just to kind of get an idea of them actually like saying, yeah, these things are there. These things are associated with this experience. So that's my point. So I'm gonna wrap it up. And so when I talk to you guys next, I'll be in my new location. And stay well and be good. All right. Bye-bye.